Okay. I'm kind of pissed off because somebody just texted me and blocked the video that I was about done or halfway done explaining about the new suspension setup or adjustments that I'm making. God damn it. Okay, let's try to make it through this again. And now I've got to talk about Wichita all over again. So, once again, big thanks to Dan Moore for doing the awesome job on the setup of. You know what? Okay. It should be better. But big thanks to Dan Moore for the awesome setup on the tubing of the front end. You did an amazing job. Thank you for priming it. The bash bar has held up amazingly well. And I have no complaints overall. With that being said, Wichita was a lot of fun. Big shout out to Modified Militia for letting me roll with you guys. Everybody's super clean, has super clean cars. And I had the opportunity to go down with them and just, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun on the highway. I will say that with the setup, with the negative camber that I'm running right now, it was a little twitchy at high speeds, but I mean, you get used to it and it becomes kind of predictable. And at that point, once you can manage it, it's not really that much of a dangerous issue. And on certain turns, like coming out of the second gate for the toll booth where you actually pay, there's like a really sharp hairpin turn, and that was really fun. So outside of that, I was going to talk to you guys about the suspension situation. So right now, as you guys know, I'm running super negative camber. Well, one thing I'm going to be doing is hooking back up the sway bar. So just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about is, right now the sway bar is not hooked up. And the reason why it's not hooked up is because the hole on the control arm is farther than the hole on the sway bar. Despite the fact that you can adjust the sway bar to go up and down, it will not line up because the control arm needs to be pushed back. So what I'm going to be doing is pushing back the control arm, which will adjust my caster. Now, one thing I learned as I've been doing research on suspension is that caster also plays a huge role in why the tire tilts at full lock. So, for instance, for those asking about the caster situation, right now my caster's like this, right? Well, adjusting it as close to zero as I can will allow the axis of the wheel to turn on a more even playing field. Now, the benefit to me is that I won't have to run such negative camber to achieve full tire contact at full lock. The other thing is, like right now, the tires turn and there is some gap in there, and like my buddy Paul was asking is, did I raise the car up in a particular picture? No, because there's caster right now, when the wheel is turned on that axis, it pushes down or it tilts downward, and so it is really hard to turn. Remember, I'm not running power steering. So on this side here, the wheel turns inward and it's actually more closer, like there's no more gap. This is rubbing at that point when you turn. So on riding conditions on new tires, obviously I don't want to destroy these tires. These are good tires. I love these things. I just took it out for a spin and it was a lot of fun. Ask Levi Knox. Anyways, with that being said, so we're going to adjust these bad boys back outward and adjust the caster, rehook up the sway bar to try and stabilize that front end and hopefully have a more free spinning wheel, because right now it's a lot of fighting, and also by going with more positive camber, it will actually raise the front up a little bit as well, which is nice. So when I put that bumper on, it's not going to scrape everywhere. That's one thing I noticed is when I turned these inward, it actually lowered the car even more. So that's why I've got this wear on the tire more so than usual, because the angle of the tip of the tire, which is here, is very, very close versus it being more even, which means that it's, I don't know. Anyways, so with that being said, as for now, this is kind of crazy. Got this from Lowe's. This little thing here needs to be kind of put back together, but essentially it can help block out some of that rain that I was sucking in when I go and have some fun. So I thought that was kind of cool. Outside of that, like I said, there's a category that they're doing right now. Let me turn this back off. There's a category that they're doing right now that is, well, they made it up for the event. They got rid of my category, first off, so that way some people know, like, why did he show the Angry Panda? Like, it's not a show car. This car will never be beautiful. And that's okay. It's a drift car. However, the one thing I was shooting for is best under construction. And they got rid of that class. I guess they got tired of the ratty, nasty cars coming through there. So they got rid of best under construction. And instead, they added a new category called Big Wang. So the cool thing is that does give me an opportunity to win some kind of award as I continue the build, especially for the exterior of the rear end. So very excited for that. Otherwise, the goal is to continue to save money. First things first is doing that suspension fix, going 5-lug in the front, getting a hydro e-brake, running separate calipers, getting a racing seat because I move around too much when I drift. So little things. And then when all those little things are taken care of, then we can look at possible, well, it's not possible, but the motor option that I'll be going with, which is the 2JZ. So a lot of work because my business or my company that I'm trying to launch is really slow. Nobody tells you that you take a pay cut when you go in business for yourself. So keep me in your prayers, and I'll just keep you guys up to date.